Hello, Living Dead Dolls fans. This is Josh, aka Doggiepants, and I'm coming at you in partnership with Mezco Toys again for another Living Dead Dolls review. So, today we are taking a look at the newest con exclusive this year, which is the, and I apologize for the name, a lot of people say it differently, Walpurgis. There's some very German pronunciations that I'm not even going to attempt here. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to say Walpurgis, because I think that's the one that I hear most often. Yeah, so I apologize if anybody thinks differently. But anyways, Walpurgis, the original doll, because this is a kind of resurrection style doll, but we'll get into that in a minute. The original doll came out in 2003, and it was a German exclusive for the company Close Up. It was the first German exclusive, I believe, yes. And she was super cool. And it's kind of interesting because if you go back then and look at the prototype doll, she actually has a bit of a flavor that this new Resurrection doll has. She had a curlier hair. When the 2003 doll came out, her hair was very bone straight. She was very striking. But it's super, super cool. Great, great doll. Yes. So, Walpurgis, what are you going to say? It's based off of I don't think it's just German holiday. I think there's parts like Sweden, there's all kinds of countries that have this holiday, Walpurgis night, or however you want to pronounce it. Basically, that is April 30th, the night of April 30th. It's the day before May Day or Beltane. Yeah, so it's kind of a pagan holiday, I believe. Yeah, so that's Walpurgis. Yeah, so anyways, for this year, instead of having the Resurrection dolls be, specifically the San Diego Comic-Con kind of exclusive dolls, even though they never really came out then, especially last year, it appears that they created a whole nother Resurrection doll that kind of worked that capacity, being the con exclusive, and then the Resurrection dolls just came out, or will come out later, and be kind of the summer exclusive, so, which I think is kind of cool. Yeah, so that's all done now. Let's take a look at the doll and the coffin, shall we? We're going to start with the coffin, but beforehand I'm going to show you the plastic, because there's a little sticker here on this doll. It's on the right there, and it says 2015 Con Exclusive Mezco Toys. So just be aware that that is on the plastic part. Here is the coffin. The coffin is a black standard coffin. It does have kind of the standard grain that we've seen on all the coffins recently. One bit of a throwback to the original doll. The original doll had brown tissue paper, and so this Resurrection doll has brown tissue paper as well. The chipboard is actually really nice. Here's kind of an up-close version of it. There we go. It says Living Dead Dolls right there in the top right corner. It says Walpurgis, and then it has a picture of the doll with her mask on, and there's in the background there's some symbols and some books to kind of give that witchy element feel to it. Yeah, but that is her coffin. So let's take a look at the cool doll. Here she is, Walpurgis. She is Actually, she's a really super cool doll. The original doll is super popular, super expensive. It's hard to get her for under, I would say, 150, 200 bucks now. So if you're searching for, good luck with that. I actually don't have her in my collection. I wish I did so I could kind of compare the two, but alas, I do not. Yeah, but here we go. Walpurgis. I'm going to start with her outfit first. Her outfit is mainly two pieces. We'll start with the cloak first. The cloak is, obviously it's over top of the dress. It does attach right here with a little bit of ribbon that's tied in a bow right underneath her chin. And it is all one piece. And it's kind of like a velvet material to it, but it has a little bit more movement. You're going to see that than some of the velvet that they've used in the past. The bottom of the dress is cut very jagged. The little pieces kind of curl up on themselves. It's kind of cool. She looks pretty scary. The hood itself is kind of nice. They've never done a hood like this for any of the Living Dead dolls in the past. It has a point that comes down off it, which I think is really nice and adds to the effect of the doll. It feels very, very scary, and I like that aspect of it. I'm going to take this cloak off so you can see what's going on underneath. Bam. Here we go. So here is the under kind of dress. The material of this dress underneath is actually the same material that we see on a lot of the deaths, so that, I don't know, I can never remember the kind of material it is, but it's very fragile. It's the same thing that was on like Menard, right? So that kind of material that can fall apart easily. You want to be careful. Don't pull loose threads or anything, because it is definitely cut jagged along the bottom, and that goes all the way around. It's cut jagged along the neckline and on the sleeves, and it's all one piece, and it does Velcro right up here, up the back. So that is her outfit. Obviously, there's a couple other little things that are added to the outfit. She has this necklace, which I believe is exactly the same, maybe, or just slightly different than the one that's actually on the 2003 version of Walpurgis. But it has basically a pentagram in there, and I'm trying to see if there's any writing, but I don't think so. I think it's just a little bit of texture that goes around it. It's kind of a black and bronzy color, and it is on a chain that goes around her neck. There's no clasp for this chain, so it is permanent. You'd have to pop the head off to take that off. And then the other piece of jewelry that she has, which I think is really cool, they've never really done this before, is kind of this forehead necklace thing that she's got going on. It has kind of a weird flower detail. I'm going to get really close. There's quite a glare, so I'm not sure if you can be able to see that, but there's a little bit of a flower detail on it. It's the same kind of chain that goes around her neck, except it is tagged in, and I'm going to try to pull it apart so you can see, by these little pegs that are in her scalp. And I've never seen them do anything like this. Oh my gosh, the glare's bad. Where can I... There we go. You see it? See the little tack that's kind of there that the chain attaches to? But that's how they're put into place. So there's one on each side of her head, and that's what holds that chain in place. Again, it's not removable, so don't try. You don't want to mess up the doll. But it's a really cool detail. I've never seen them do anything like that before, and I love it. It kind of adds to her scariness. Another thing that adds to her scariness, and that's actually my favorite part of this doll, which I think is so cool, is the paint job. So she is a white-skinned doll, right? But her feet and her hands both have a lot of brown airbrushing on them, and so it looks like she's been digging around kind of in the dirt, and she's definitely kind of a, pagan earth mama. She's making things happen with her witchy bad self, so I love it. I think it's super cool. Yeah, she's super scary, and it's the thing that kind of sticks out for me. It's those little details that really get me as a collector. Her face paint is actually really beautiful. She's got these really gorgeous glass eyes. So she is a glass-eyed doll. And I apologize for this glare. The glare is pretty intense today. But she has very similar Walpurgis eyebrows. So those extreme arched kind of branchy eyebrows a little bit. She has a very gray, simple lip. She has some red shadowing around her eyes. And then she's got these black eyelashes that come right off top of it. Now you're going to notice too, on her forehead, again, let's try to get it to... There we go. You can kind of see it there. There's the very lightest hint of a blue. It almost looks like a tree that comes up her forehead, and there's some branches that come out. It's very subtle, and it's also on the original doll as well. It's actually even a little more subtle, I think, on the original doll than it is on her. But it's nice to see that they continue to add that little bit of detail onto the doll. Her hair. Now, there's been a lot of discussion about this doll and the quality of the hair, and I'm going to be completely honest. If you are brushing your fingers through it, and this is true of a lot of the Living Dead dolls recently, you are going to be able to take some of the hair out with it. Sometimes I just kind of do that and embrace it, and I'm like, okay, let's get some of the loose stuff so that it doesn't end up hanging off the doll weird or anything like that. Her hair could be thicker. It could be rooted better. I'm going to give you that. But I don't think it's quite as bad as everybody's making it out to be. It's actually, there's no bald spots that you see with her just standing, at least mine. If other people are different, I can't speak to that. I can only speak to the one that I received. And so it's pretty nice. She has some curl to her hair, so they have to be a little bit careful on how much hair they actually root into a doll with curly hair, otherwise it gets really out of control, and especially if we have this cloak where her hair's mostly tucked back inside of it. So just be aware of that. If you do move the hair, there is, you can see some scalp, definitely. It could be rooted better, but I don't personally think it's quite as bad as people have been making it on the boards. My opinion, though. But yeah, that is her. One other thing that's really nice about this doll, which is not true of the original, is she's got this top layer of hair. It's not the entire rooting, but the top layer is actually rooted with a blue tint. Now, I'm sure you can see that in this video. It's not all of the hair. A lot of the underside of the hair is just white, but the top layer is like this really, really faint blue, and it really adds to the doll. I've never seen them do that, and I freaking love it. I think it's so cool. It's so pretty. It's really, really nice. This is a great doll. You know, I think the dress underneath is a little simple. I wish her hair was rooted just a little bit better. But overall, I have a feeling this doll is going to go down as a really cool resurrection style doll, and probably will end up being worth a decent amount of money. That's my guess. I'm not always correct in those guesses, but I think it's a possibility. So if you can get her, go and grab her now. One nice thing about this doll is she was not super limited. The resurrection dolls tend to keep the numbers rather low. The numbers have gotten a little bit bigger in the last couple of years just because there's been so much anger and frustration when people haven't got their dolls. So it feels like they responded to that with this doll and made sure that she was very much a large production run so that everybody could enjoy her. That being said, I still think she's going to end up being worth an okay amount of money. But that is her. This is Walpurgis. Really, really cool doll. Get out and grab her if you can. She's not that expensive. I think she's been going on eBay for between 50 and 60 bucks, but definitely worth it. Oh, there's one other thing that I gotta mention. Her mask. Sorry about it, I almost forgot it. Her mask is the standard kind of Living Dead dolls pagan mask that they've had, and I think the first time that they had this mask was actually Walpurgis, now that I think about it, the original one. The original one was kind of yellow in color. This one feels a little bit more like the one they used for Resurrection Loose Sapphire, which has kind of the silver. The horns are black, and there's some blood pouring down right there in the front. I'm going to put it on the doll so you can see what it looks like when a Living Dead doll wears this mask. Here we go. So that's kind of what it looks like when she's wearing it. Super cool, super scary, great detail. Always love this mask. The hood doesn't want to stay completely up while the mask is on, but there we go. If we go up over the horns, it's pretty good. But yeah, that is Walpurgis. Super, super cool Living Dead doll. Excellent job, Misco Toys. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'm going to be coming back hopefully next with the Resurrection set. I just found out that I am going to be getting the regular Resurrection dolls, which right now is Jack the Ripper, Elizabeth Bathory, Lizzie Borden, and a mystery doll, which is a victim of one of these three dolls that we've never seen before. And I'm very excited because I might know who it is. But you should be excited too. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that's it. So hopefully I'll be back fairly soon with those dolls. And I'll also be jumping back in with my series reviews fairly soon as well. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I will talk to you later.
Ich muss fort, es ist Walpurgis Nacht.